What's going on, you guys? It's Scott from Fly Rides. I am out at Eurobike today. We're checking out the Gates Carbon Belt Drive booth. I've got Jonathan here, fresh to Gates, right? One of the new guys.
4 months.
Awesome, yeah. So it's he's been long in the bike industry, so he's got a ton of knowledge. He's going to break down what's new for Gates this year. And for some of you guys, you might not even be completely familiar with Gates at all yet. So we're going to actually introduce you guys to what the product is. So do you want to go ahead and jump into that real quick? What is a Gates Carbon Belt Drive?
So the Gates Carbon Belt Drive consists of the carbon drive belt, but also the sprockets. They work together as a system to ensure that your bike or e-bike drivetrain is silent, maintenance-free, super strong, doesn't stretch, and just highly durable. So that's what we say: clean, smooth, quiet, strong. Those are the key things about the Gates Carbon Drive.
Of course, e-bikes, especially mid-drive motors, are notoriously hard on their drivetrains. So the Gates Carbon Belt Drive is a really great way to kind of get around daily chain issues or daily issues with your cassette, anything like, snapping chains. That's always a big issue with e-bikes. What is new for 2019?
We're basically coming out with more sprockets, spiders, belt lengths to enable bike companies to use Gates Carbon Drive on more and more types of bikes.
Gates, you guys can kind of tune to any internally geared hub, potentially, right?
Right.
That's great.
Our components are compatible with Rohloff, Shimano, Enviolo.
So basically what that means, you guys, is that it's not just like an elite, like high-level thing. If you're on a mid-level or even a low-level bike, potentially you could still have a bike with the Gates Carbon Belt Drive, which is going to save you a ton of day-to-day issues, which is really important. Can you break into a little bit, Jonathan, about you guys are getting into the mountain bike sphere, right? So which
Yes.
I'm really interested in. We mentioned we're really into bike packing and stuff like that. So with the bike packing setups, you don't want to be out there having to mess around with a derailleur or anything like that. Tell me a little bit about why you guys wanted to get into it and where you think the benefits are going to be for mountain bikers.
So our CDX line of components, they're super durable, and we find bike manufacturers more and more are speccing these components on long distance trekking bikes, but also mountain bikes. And you can see this product on full suspension bikes, full suspension mountain bikes, hardtails, and even e-mountain bikes, like from HNF Nikolai. What we're finding is that these mountain bikers, if the derailleurs are breaking or they're snapping chains due to the higher loads, and the belt drive is perfect for that. And with our center track drive technology, it actually is designed to shed mud or debris or dirt that gets in between the sprocket and the belt. So it's really designed for that, these dirty, debris, muddy applications. It can stand up to that.
It's pretty incredible. I've been working with these for about 2 years, guys, and I never have seen one fall off. I don't even think it's possible.
They don't fall off.
Yeah.
As long as the bike manufacturer designs the bike with adequate frame stiffness and perfect alignment, which we help the manufacturers do, these will never fall off.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Which you cannot say about a chain, and that is for sure, you guys.
We were really the first company to bring carbon fiber technology into a dynamic application. You typically find it on a bike frame, for stiffness. This is a dynamic, moving application of carbon fiber. And you can see inside here the carbon fiber cords, 10 or 12 of them.
Yeah.
And this is what gives the belt its superior strength. Doesn't stretch like a belt, like a chain.
Yeah.
So it doesn't stretch, and
So instead of just one connection, you're essentially getting thousands and thousands of connections
and
within
thousands of
one little
super.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is what makes it so strong, and we don't want to say indestructible, but basically, I'll say it. You don't have to say it.
Thank you.
But so these are great systems, you guys. We're going to break into a little bit deeper dive with Ben. He's going to show us a little bit more about the in-depth tech. All right, guys, so as promised, we're going to break into a little bit of maintenance and also just general care, what to look out for, when to replace your sprocket, with Ben, the business development manager and former tech support. So this is basically the perfect guy to be talking to right now if you have a Gates system and you've got some questions about it. So Ben, I guess take it away. What do we got here? What's going on with this setup?
Right on, yeah. Pretty interesting here, pretty eye-catching. What we really want to show people here is that, unlike a chain drive, the belt drive is really indifferent to what kind of environment it's in. This is a CDX drivetrain, which most of you guys will find on your bikes. This is what we spec on pretty much any mid-drive e-bike. These belts are CDX belts, which you are good to extreme heats, extreme cold. The belt is not permeable to water, dirt, anything like that. So
he said not permeable to water, which if you think of a chain, it is literally the thing that is the most permeable to water in the world. It gets rusty. This is never going to be an issue on a Gates belt system. I just want to reemphasize that really because that's huge. Is it a system that we like I'm not a tech guy at all. I'm not good at like general bike maintenance. Is it pretty easy to maintain? Like what do we do as people who own Gates carbon belt drive systems?
We don't like to say maintenance free. It is definitely one of the lowest maintenance systems that you can use. We just say try to keep as much debris off of the system as possible. Obviously, if you're riding in the rain or riding in any sort of moisture, you're going to pick up dirt and dust, and that squeeze between the sprockets and the belt creates friction, and that's going to wear your system down. So really all you need to clean a system is just water and a brush. So, we would say that every couple rides, if you've commuted or rained, anything like that, just hose it off, brush it off, and that's pretty much it.
It has sort of a self-cleaning feature. Jonathan was telling me too. Like, can you talk about a little bit about that?
Yeah, the center track system.
Yes.
So it's a patented technology that Gates owns, and basically what that is it's a groove within the belt and a spine on the sprocket, and they fit flush and tight so that any debris gets pushed outward.
That's great.
So yeah, I mean, we've seen it run in peanut butter mud, pretty much any environment you could think of. Heavy packed snow, things like that, and it self-cleans really, really well.
I mean, is there anything that the people who already have, you said the CDX system is what we're looking at right now, signs they can look for when it's time to maybe replace it?
Yeah, so it's a lot like a chain drive sprocket actually in terms of wear signs. Since there is one pulling surface on the tooth, it's going to kind of start to get the shark fin shape. So if you look at a heavily worn sprocket like that, you can obviously see that it tapers up to one side.
Okay.
This is an extreme example. If you look down and saw this, it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while. But generally we say you could probably get 2 to 3 belts out of a sprocket. So the system is designed to last for a long time. Obviously it's a premium product. It's not the most inexpensive thing out there, but you get what you pay for. So one of those things where as you're cleaning the system, just take a look at your sprockets. If you notice that it's starting to kind of taper and shark fin pretty extremely, then you definitely want to take it to the shop and get another one replaced right away. In terms of belt wear, belt's kind of tricky. Since the belts don't show obvious signs of wear, since, like Jonathan said, there's no stretching or anything like that, you won't see any sort of belt damage. It's a good idea just to kind of keep track of how long you've been riding on a belt. Especially in an e-bike application, they last a very, very long time. But you definitely still want to have kind of in the back of your mind the last time it was replaced. So we say that a belt should last about 2 to 3 times as long as that rider on a chain would. So, I replace chains every 1,800 miles on my mountain bike. I can expect to get probably 3,600, 4,000 out of mine.
So guys, that is the Gates carbon belt drive system. You've got so many updates from them this year. Jonathan, thank you so much for taking the time today. Much appreciated. One more thing I want to mention about these guys is they are US based, so their products are always going to be available in the US. Yep. So that's always a concern at Eurobike. Maybe some of this stuff is going to be available. I'm going to try to update you guys. Everything you see here is definitely 100% of the States. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, especially during this Eurobike period for the next month. I'm going to have a ton of content coming out, so make sure you're watching out for it. All right, thanks guys.